ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं। Hare Krishna. A very warm welcome to all of you who are watching today's episode of the Mahabharata. In the last episode, we saw how Jayadratha's attempt to abduct Draupadi forcibly was foiled by the Pandavas. Arjuna and Bhima captured him. Bhima was a little severe on Jayadratha, and he was brought alive to Yudhishthira Maharaj and to Draupadi. Although by the codes of Dharma, Jayadratha could have been killed, the Pandavas desisted from it upon the instructions of the eldest brother Yudhishthira Maharaj, on the consideration that Jayadratha was the husband of their younger sister, actually the younger sister of Duryodhana, Dushala. On the consideration of his being a very close relative, they made Jayadratha accept subordination to Yudhishthira Maharaj, and he was set free. Jayadratha was not going to keep quiet. He went to Gangotri, performed austerities, and he pleased Lord Shiva, seeking a boon from him that he will be able to defeat the Pandavas. Did Lord Shiva grant him this boon? This is what we will see today. We begin today's episode by taking you back to Hastinapura. Duryodhana, accompanied by his brothers as well as Shakuni, Karna and others, were enjoying the royal opulences in Hastinapura. Karna had taken a vow that he would not refuse charity to anyone who seeks charity from him, and thus he had become very famous as Danavira. He was a greatly charitable person. Every day he would go to the banks of the Yamuna and he would take bath there, and after bathing there, whoever would come there seeking anything in charity from him, he would give it to them. Karna, when he was born, he was named Vasusena by his parents Adhiratha and Radha. He was so named because when Adhiratha found him as a small baby floating in the water of the river, he found that the child was adorned naturally with a golden armor and earrings. These were divine earrings and armor which were integral to the body of Karna, and so he was named Vasusena, meaning a person who was born with a lot of riches. Now, because the period of forest exile of the Pandavas was coming to a close, and soon they would have to go in exile incognito, and within about a year and a half, the time would come for them to seek the return of their kingdom. And everybody knew that given Duryodhana's nature, it was not going to be easy to get back the kingdom for the Pandavas. Indra, who was seated in heaven, he started thinking how he could do good for the Pandavas, especially keeping in view that a war was imminent between the Kauravas and the Pandavas. The biggest stumbling block for the Pandavas from Indra's point of view was Karna. Karna was known to be very powerful archer, and he had a divine armor which would always prevent any arrows from piercing him and mortally wounding him. Indra then thought, the only way I can make the path easier for the Pandavas is to take away the armor and the earrings of Karna. Now, how to do that? Indra thought, let me disguise myself as a poor Brahmana and go to Karna and seek from him his divine armor and earrings. Because he has taken a vow of not refusing charity to anyone, he will definitely hand it over to me. Thinking like this, Indra decided to disguise himself and go to Karna the next day when he would have finished taking his bath. Divining what Indra was going to do, now Suryadeva thought how he could help Karna, because Karna was Suryadeva's son after all. He was born by the blessings of Suryadeva to Kunti. Lord Suryadeva appeared in Karna's dream, and he informed Karna that the next day Indra is going to come disguised before him, asking him for his divine armor and earrings. And Suryadeva advised Karna not to give away his armor. Karna reasoned with him in the dream that, oh my lord, how can I refuse? I have taken a vow. I cannot refuse to give away in charity. And if I give away in charity my divine armor and earrings, then even though I may be vanquished in battle, still I will become completely famous all over the world, and Indra will become infamous. Karna had a great desire to enjoy fame. For him, his fame and reputation was everything. It did not appeal to him to refuse Indra and thus break his vow and become infamous as a person who refused to give in charity and thus broke his vow. For him, his fame and reputation was everything. And like this, he reasoned with Suryadeva. Suryadeva responded to him, what is the use of your fame? Once you are killed, once you are dead in the battlefield, what is the use of your fame? It will be like a garland putting to a dead body. Like this, Suryadeva tried reasoning with Karna, but Karna was not going to give in. Karna said, whatever it may be, I don't want to give up my fame, so please excuse me. Then Suryadeva told Karna, he warned Karna that Arjuna is too powerful, and without that divine golden armor, Karna would very easily be conquered by Arjuna. But Karna was too much proud of his own strength, and he responded to Suryadeva, don't worry about Arjuna. I have divine weapons with me which I have gained from Parashurama. Very easily I will be able to defeat Arjuna, so you please don't worry about me. Finally, Suryadeva saw that Karna is not going to give in. Finally, Suryadeva told Karna, okay, fine, have it your way, but do one thing. When Indradeva asks for your golden armor and earrings, ask him something in return which will be useful for you in your fight against Arjuna. And like this, Suryadeva disappeared. Karna woke up from his dream, and then he understood that the Suryadeva whom he would worship every day had come thinking of his welfare. Now, thinking of the incidents that had happened in his dream, Karna proceeded forth for his bath in the river. After finishing his bath, many Brahmanas came to him. He gave away many things in charity. Finally, one very brilliant looking Brahmana came forward, very austere looking Brahmana, clad in deer skin and having matted hair, holding his kamandalu and all that. And this Brahmana came forth to Karna and said, I have come here seeking charity. Karna said, please tell me what you want. You want gold, you want riches, you want land, you want cows, what do you want? The Brahmana replied, I don't want any of these things. I have no use for any of them. I only want your divine natural armor and earring with which you are born. Karna immediately understood that this is Indra, but he did not let on immediately that he knew who it was. He started reasoning with the Brahmana. He said, why are you seeking my golden armor and earrings? I can give you tons of gold. I can give you much more precious things. Please ask for something which will be of use to you. What use is my simple armor and earring for you? But the Brahmana would not budge. He said, no, I don't want any of these things. I want only this. Then Karna told him, see, if I give away my armor and earrings, I will become susceptible to be easily killed by my enemies. In order to protect my life, I am asking you, ask me for something else. But the Brahmana would still not budge. Then finally Karna revealed that he knew who it was. He said, oh Brahmana, I know that you are Indra. And I know that why you have come here asking me for this, because you want Arjuna to be able to win over me. No problem. I have taken a vow that I will not refuse charity to anyone who has come to me. I will give away my armor and earrings to you as you have sought it. I will not go against my vow. But I only request you one thing in return. Indra said, so be it. Please ask me what you want from me other than my Vajra Ayudha, his thunderbolt weapon. Indra said, I will give you anything else you ask for. Then Karna asked him for his Shakti weapon. The Shakti weapon used by Indra is very, very powerful, and practically no other astra can withstand the force of the Shakti weapon. Indra then granted him his boon, and he told him, okay, I will definitely accede to your request. I will give you my Shakti weapon, but on the condition that it will be used by you only in the gravest of danger. When there is danger to life, only then you should use it. And second condition is, the moment you release it, it will go and attack its target, and then it will return to me. You will be able to use it only once. Karna was very happy. He said, I want to use it only once. I want to use it only against one person, Arjuna. So for me, one time is good enough. And he was satisfied with that. Moreover, Indra also, being pleased with Karna's charitable disposition, he also blessed him that when he would cut out the armor from his body and the earrings, he would cut out his ears. He would practically have to cut his ears and cut his body and take out the armor and the earrings. When he would do that, Lord Indra blessed Karna that his body would not become disfigured. And then Karna cut the armor from his body and cut the earrings from his ear and handed it over to Indra. Because Karna cut his own body and gave away his armor and earrings, from that day he came to be known as Vaikartana. Vaikartana means one who cut his own body to give in charity. And like this, Karna maintained his fame. And having got the Shakti weapon, Karna was very confident. Now, the day I face Arjuna in battle, I will be able to vanquish him. So, from this incident, we can see how even in Swargaloka, amongst the Devatas, there is politics and there is one-upmanship, one person trying to outdo the other. This kind of activities are there even in the Devalokas, amidst the Devatas. What we can understand from this is that this material world, right from Brahmaloka down to Patalaloka, everywhere, every living entity's heart is filled with envy. This envy is actually stemming from the living entity's original envy of Lord Krishna and his position as the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the spiritual world. We all living entities, all of you as well as we all have our original constitutional position in the spiritual world. Because we misused our free will to become envious of Krishna, thinking only why Krishna should be the Supreme Person, why everyone should serve Krishna, why should everyone glorify Krishna, why not some glorification be there for me also, Why not some people be subordinate to me also? Why not some people serve me also? Why not let me become the Lord and Master of some people? When that envy of Krishna's position enters our heart, that is when we come down to this material world. And therefore, everyone in this material world has envy seated in their heart, maybe to different degrees, but is there in everyone's heart. Only a person who has become completely free from envy, nirmatsara, only such a person can become eligible to be liberated from this material world and go back to Godhead, to the spiritual world, Vaikuntha. In the meantime, Jayadratha, having pleased Lord Shiva, he asked Lord Shiva that I should be able to face the 5 Pandavas in battle, and I should be able to vanquish them. I should be able to defeat them and kill them in the battle. Lord Shiva responded to Jayadratha, Jayadratha, who do you think these Pandavas are? They are always accompanied by Krishna. And who is this Krishna? Krishna is the same person who came earlier as Vamanadev. He is the person who incarnated as a boar and he killed Hiranyaksha. And like this, the Supreme Lord, who has taken many incarnations earlier, he has personally descended now. And that Krishna, he is Anadi. He is without any beginning. He is the Supreme Lord. All other incarnations, they all have an Adi. They all have a source. The source is the Supreme Lord Narayana or Vishnu, from whom all the avatars descend into this material world. Whether it is Narasimha, whether it is Kurma, whether it is Matsya, whether it is Varahadev, all of them are incarnations descending into this material world from Narayana. But Krishna is not an avatara, he is an avatari. He is the source of all avatars. He is the source of even Narayana. And therefore, Krishna is described as Anadi. He has no other source. And hence, he is the supreme absolute truth. He is the supreme personality of Godhead. Lord Shiva informed Jayadratha that this Krishna is that Anadi. He is that Adi of everybody else. And he is the supremely powerful Supreme Lord whose prowess can never be it can never be countered by anybody in this universe. There is no power in this world which can withstand Krishna's power. There is no way I can give you a benediction that you can kill the Pandavas when Krishna is personally protecting them. It's not possible. Actually, this shows how Lord Shiva is also subordinate to Lord Krishna, because Lord Krishna's power exceeds that of even Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva, he is known as Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhuhu. Amongst all the Vaishnavas, amongst all the devotees of Lord Krishna, Lord Shiva is the topmost devotee. Lord Shiva is a devotee of Krishna at heart. But foolish Jayadratha, he does not know this. He was not able to comprehend this. Then finally, Lord Shiva said, okay, to please you, to appease you, I will give you one boon. Apart from Arjuna, because Arjuna is Swayam Nara. When the Lord incarnated as Nara and Narayana, when the Krishna incarnated as Narayana, he was accompanied by Nara, who was none other than Arjuna. This Arjuna is the same Nara, and Narayana is Krishna. Both of them have come together and they will always be together. It will be impossible for anybody to conquer over them. Arjuna has got all the divine weapons. He has got the Brahmastra. He has got the Pashpatastra from me. It is impossible to defeat him. Even the 3 worlds together, if they were to stand against Arjuna all alone, they would still not be able to defeat him. Forget about you. You are an ordinary, puny human being. What you will do against Arjuna? It's impossible. I don't have the powers to give you such a boon. But I will give you one boon. Apart from Arjuna, the other 4 Pandavas, one day, only one day, you will be able to hold them at bay. They will not be able to defeat you. When Jayadratha heard this, this was enough for him. Okay, at least some avengement of my humiliation at the hands of the Pandavas. Anyway, it was Bhima who was the one who really captured Jayadratha and shaved off his head and beat him and punched him and kicked him and all those kind of things. Bhima was the person who humiliated him the most. So if he is able to hold Bhima and Yudhishthira Maharaj and Nakula and Sahadeva at bay, and he is able to, in battle, he is able to show them his prowess, and they are not able to conquer him, that's also good enough for him to be able to avenge his humiliation. Being satisfied with this boon, Jayadratha went back to his kingdom and he continued his royal position, waiting eagerly for the day when he would be able to face the four Pandavas in battle, and he would be able to withstand their attack, combined attack, and he would be able to come out victorious. Now in the meantime, the Pandavas were chalking out plans what to do when the time for the incognito exile would come into force, which was not very far away, which was only a few months away. They were they were discussing amongst themselves, evaluating various options, thinking where they should go, how they should conceal themselves, and all these kind of things. One day while they were discussing like that, suddenly one Brahmana came to them, and he told them, "Oh dear Pandavas, I have been conducting one yajna, and when I was about to start my yajna, one deer came and took away all the fire sticks which were meant for the yajna." Normally for yajnas, very specific kinds of wood has to be used. We cannot use just about any jungle wood and for conducting a yajna. Specific sacrificial divine wood is required for conducting yajna also. Therefore this Brahmana told the Pandavas that this deer has taken away my wood, and without this sacrificial wood, how will I conduct my yajna? So please help me. And he showed where that deer was running away with the wood entangled in its horns. The Pandavas, seeing the deer taking away the Brahmana's yajna sticks, immediately the Pandavas took their arrows and bows, and they set out in pursuit of the deer, assuring the Brahmana that don't worry, very soon we'll get back your sacrificial wood. And they started chasing the deer in the forest, and the deer was running here and there, and they were shooting arrows, but somehow the deer was able to manage to miss those arrows in the midst of all the bushes and trees and all that. And the Pandavas went chasing the deer for quite a long period of time. And finally, after some time, the deer disappeared somewhere in the bushes. The Pandavas were not able to find out where this deer has gone. Now, this time period was actually in the quite a hot summer time it was. Because when Durvasa Muni came to the Pandavas' hermitage, that was that whole incident where Draupadi had already eaten from the Akshaya Patra, and Lord Krishna had to come and rescue the Pandavas from Durvasa's wrath. That happened on the day of Akshaya Tritiya, which is around the month of May. And about a month after that, the incident with Jayadratha happened, which was about June. And this incident was happening quite close on the heels of after the Jayadratha incident. So this would have been somewhere in June or July, which is the hottest part of summer in the north. Now the Pandavas were sweating, and they were thirsty, and not being able to find the deer anywhere, they sat down feeling very despondent. They started talking amongst themselves. Now how will we go back and show our face to that Brahmana? We are supposed to be Kshatriyas, we are supposed to protect all the Brahmanas and ensure that there are no obstacles on the path of their yajnas. And one ordinary deer we are not able to catch. What we will protect all the citizens? What will the people talk about us? So like this, they were feeling very embarrassed, and they were sitting not knowing what to do. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj told the youngest of the brothers, Nakula, to find out if there was any water body close by, so that they could quench their thirst. Nakula found a large tree, and he climbed on top of the tree, and he looked around, and he could notice that a short distance away there was a very large water body. It looked like a big lake. Nakula came down and he informed Yudhishthira Maharaj that there is a lake close by, and that he would go and get water from there. Yudhishthira Maharaj told him, okay, you go and get the water, we will all wait here. And Nakula went towards the water body. Few minutes passed by, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Time is going, but there was no sign of Nakula returning. Now the Pandavas were getting a little restless. They were quite thirsty also. Yudhishthira Maharaj told Sahadeva that Sahadeva, I don't know what has happened to Nakula. Looks like he has forgotten that we are all very thirsty here. Please go and see what has happened, and can you please quickly get the water. Sahadeva immediately went in the direction which Nakula had gone. Why did Nakula not return, and what did Sahadeva find out? Please join us in our next episode to know about this. Thank you for joining us today. Hare Krishna. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.